Hey, what's up, and welcome to my corner of the internet. Can you please like, comment, and subscribe before we get into the video? That would be much appreciated. We got goals around this corner, and we're trying to achieve them. But anyway, I have a question for you. What do you think the future of gaming is? As someone who's played a bunch of games throughout my entire life, from MMORPGs to classic console games, single-player games, I've played a multitude of games since, well, I could. I had a computer pretty early, and I think about that now. What is the future of gaming? And this is in line with the anime that I'm talking about because we got to see gaming in a way that I think is pretty cool, and I think this is one of the few gaming anime that, you know what, I wouldn't mind recommending, and the ending wasn't bad either. And obviously I'm talking about last season's Shangri-la Frontier.
上等だ。いつでも生き延びてやら。この程度で俺を倒せると思うなよ。こっちにだって考えが。晴天大勢。
So last season, we had a bunch of different animes that were pretty great, and Shangri-La Frontier was one of them. This anime was pretty, and I know, like, when I say pretty, I mean, like, good animation and graphics and all this stuff, but no, this was a really pretty anime. This anime looked like magic. And also, it took a lot of inspiration from its predecessors, like SAO with like the headset and stuff like that. But it had a more lively and interesting world, even though SAO's first season is totally goated. And if they stopped at the second season, we would probably look at it a bit differently. But with all that being said, Shangri-La Frontier is an action fantasy, and the author I'm going to put up on the screen and along with the studio, and our main character is Sunraku, or Rakuro Hizutomi, and this is about a guy wanting to play a good game for the first time ever. Our main character basically likes to play trash games, the bugged out, messed up, glitch-filled games that basically are dumpster fires, but he likes to play them. He's entertained by the challenge of figuring out how to beat these games and be good at them, which is an interesting hobby. I don't necessarily know if I have the patience for that. Just me personally, I don't know. Like, I can play a bad game. I've played bad games. It's just, I don't know if I'm going to necessarily seek them out. But I mean, there's probably a group of people that actually feel this way, and I'm just missing out, you know? But with all this being said, our main character goes to Shangri-La Frontier. He gets involved in this game and he's sucked in immediately, and the adventures ensue. And this game, you know what I like about the game that we're basically experiencing? Is this the future of gaming? Are we witnessing gaming try to go towards this grand overarching story? Because this would be dope. This would be amazing. Don't get me wrong. I think gaming would be totally interesting if this was possible, but I also think the gaming industry would have to change a lot. But that's enough of how I feel about the gaming industry. That's a totally different video for another time. This anime is cool. This anime is wonderful. It's an interesting story. It makes you ponder where games are gonna go. Are we gonna have headsets? Like, that's one thing that I'm interested in, but I don't necessarily know if I want that personally. Cause like, I like controllers. I do like controllers, and I'm already immersed in games enough, especially as someone who will carve out time to play games. But I don't necessarily know if I would like to have a headset, lay down on my bed, and just like be absorbed in this, because I feel as though that would be so weird to like in real life experience. Like, I know we're getting closer and closer to that every single year, but I don't necessarily know if I want to participate.
決めたよ。ラスボスとかストーリーとかもうどうでもいい。今は無理でもいつか俺が必ずお前を倒すからな。
And that's just personally me. With this anime, it has the cool moments, it has the great options that come with the story, and the different ways that Sunraku is interacting with other characters, the environment, the fun of it all. And I love the movement. I love how our characters feel lively. There's a little bit of weight to it. And the boss fight, that was a tough boss fight. I'm not even gonna lie to you, son. That was hard. Like, you remember when games used to be difficult? And I know the Dark Souls franchise and some other games are really reviving the spirit of difficulty. But man, did that look like a tough boss fight. And I don't necessarily know if a lot of games are going to be able to get that off, because so many people feel like it's a lack of accessibility when it's too difficult, which I've seen that sentiment. I don't know if I agree or disagree. I just have seen that sentiment. And I don't know, I just remember when games were just difficult. Like, games were things where you had to get a skill from. And I'm not saying... No, I am pretty much saying that. You gotta get good at a lot of games that at least I've been interested in. And I love games that are like ultra competitive. There's nothing better than a human versus human game, especially a movement shooter. Oh, that was my swag. The anime is cool. The story is throughout there. Basically, these gamers end up pushing the story along. That's basically the crux of it. We get to this boss fight that has pushed the story along, and they figure it out. They use the cheats, have the revives. It feels like a good, great MMORPG. It feels like what WoW was, or what WoW is, in some sort of way, even though I've only played WoW maybe like 3 years of my life. RuneScape, all those other ones. It feels like gaming. This feels like a good game. And in turn, this feels like a good anime. And I'm sure that there is a bit more. If it had a little bit more episodes, it would still be cooking, even though it got 2 seasons. And I think it did a lot with what it did. And it's beautiful. It is not an ugly anime, man. And I very much so appreciate the blending of the 3D aspects with the 2D. And the running jokes. I love the humor, the gaming. It's all dope. And I love how it has like jokes about how like quests go. Like, you got to go fetch this, or you got to go get this. Nothing is ever simple. It's always a step-by-step process. And I like that about this. It's very realistic into what gaming is and what it has been, and venturing into the future of what gaming can be. But anyway, I just wanted to recommend to you this anime. It's a pretty good anime, and I think you should check it out. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for making it to the end of this video. Happy Friday. I hope you're doing well, and I hope you're, living life, But anyway, peace, check your hair grease, and be well.